Ah yes, when Bond movies were actually good, and here's one of them. Goldeneye was directed by Martin Campbell, as it centres on a powerful satellite system that falls into the hands of Agent 006, played by Sean Bean, a former ally turned enemy. Only James Bond, played by Pierce Brosnan, can save the world from a space weapon that in one short pulse could destroy the Earth. So this is a spoiler warning, so anyone that's not seen Goldeneye, save this video, watch the movie, and then come back to my review once you've seen it. In terms of the positives of the movie, I can pretty much go on all day for how much I love Goldeneye. Where the story really shines is how it sets up plot threads that pay off later on in the movie. The biggest one being the reveal of Agent 006 as the villain Janus, which sounds like Thanos, just with a J. The slow revealing of information kept me guessing as to what would happen next, as the best Bond movies have this quality in spades. The next best thing that the story does is how most of the exposition is thankfully kept to the first act of the movie. This allowed the second and final acts to be the fun, entertaining Bond movie that we've all come to know and love. Pierce Brosnan is pitch perfect in his portrayal of James Bond, and he's right up there with Sean Connery as one of the best Bond actors of all time. Brosnan respects the Bond mythos whilst at the same time crafts his own unique interpretation of the character. His portrayal of Bond plays on all of the stereotypes that we've seen before in the previous movies. A ladies' man, cool, suave, and at least not forgetting his famous one-liners that have been a staple of Bond since day one. Brosnan is likeable and charismatic as he brings a macho-like presence to the character, whilst at the same time he conveys the vulnerable aspects of Bond, particularly his affection towards Natalia. Sean Bean has the standout performance in the movie as the villain Janus. The classic Bond villainous tropes are therefore all to see in Janus, such as world destruction and a personal vendetta against James Bond. Despite these villainous trappings, Sean Bean infuses his character with a sense of pain and sadness. The reveal of Janus' backstory, around the halfway mark in the movie, makes him more than your average one-dimensional Bond villain. It's in these scenes that Sean Bean adds a dramatic layer to his performance, as I was able to empathise with his plight as a character despite his world-destroying plans. Now there's a reason why Casino Royale and now Goldeneye are some of my favourite Bond films of all time, and that's because of Martin Campbell's assured direction behind the camera. The best way to describe how he directs Goldeneye is basically like a jigsaw puzzle being put together before your very own eyes. All of the major pieces are established in the first 30 minutes, as the rest of the movie is about slowly revealing more information about the plot and characters. This storytelling approach from Campbell leads to a satisfying payoff by the movie's conclusion. This also allowed me to draw my own conclusions towards the characters in terms of whether I felt any sympathy towards them or not. There's a wonderful brisk pace to the movie, as no scene drags on for too long, or is too short for that matter. This created a sense of excitement for me, as I was always rooting for Bond to save the day. Campbell importantly never forgets the central conflict of the movie, which is Bond's pursuit to stop Janus from destroying the world. This gave the characters a sense of purpose, as their motivations were clearly defined within the story. It meant that the big climatic fight between Bond and Janus carried some emotional weight, as opposed to two agents mindlessly beating the crap out of each other. The action in Goldeneye is a throwback to a bygone era of filmmaking, where directors emphasise filming as much as possible in camera or on location, throw in the use of stunt doubles, and the result is a series of set pieces that are grounded for the most part, yet are fun and entertaining at the same time. The St. Petersburg chase sequence has some of the best and most obscure action moments you're likely to see in any Bond film. This includes Bond swerving a military tank as if it carries the weight and physics of your average car. Also, the use of hand-to-hand combat between Bond and Janus was a delight to see. Let me tell you, it was so refreshing to see both actors, along with the use of stunt doubles of course, perform this fight sequence, as it gave the fight a visceral and personal quality. So just to give you my overall thoughts on Goldeneye, most of the exposition is confined to the first act of the movie. This allows the second and final acts to be the fun, entertaining Bond movie that we've all come to know and love. Pierce Brosnan is pitch perfect in his portrayal of James Bond, as he's always likeable and charismatic in the role, whilst at the same time he conveys the vulnerable aspects of Bond, and in particular his affection towards Natalia. Sean Bean is the standout performance as the villain Janus. He adds a dramatic layer to his performance as we're able to empathise with his plight as a character. Martin Campbell wisely opts for a methodical storytelling approach in the early segments of the movie. This leads to a satisfying payoff by the movie's conclusion. There's a nice brisk pace to Goldeneye as no scene drags on for too long, nor is too short for that matter. Martin Campbell never forgets the central conflict of Bond's pursuit to stop Janus from destroying the world. This gave the characters a sense of purpose, as their motivations were clearly defined within the story. The action is a throwback to a bygone era of filmmaking, where directors filmed as much as possible in camera, along with the use of stunt doubles and practical locations. This gave the action a visceral quality that was grounded for the most part, yet fun and entertaining at the same time. So overall, I'm going to give Goldeneye a perfect 10 out of 10. So I now hand it over to you guys. I'm interested to hear your thoughts in terms of whether or not you enjoyed Goldeneye, and where do you think this movie ranks in the pantheon of James Bond movies, so interested to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and be sure to hit the notification bell for updates on the latest videos. I hope you enjoyed this movie review, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.